Did you think your internet was frozen? Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Rob. This is the live stream where we believe in one job per adult in America should be able to afford you a good living. That's right, 2 vacations a year. I shared a tweet where they said the standard paid vacation rate for all these countries, America, was 0. I believe we got to change that at the federal level. Why is it, if Trump really is for the working class, why isn't that fool guaranteed federal protected vacation time, paid time off, PTO, baby? And Trump really for the working class, he really wants to help people? Why doesn't he guaranteed federally protected paid time off? Every adult in America should be able to take 2 weeks a year paid time off. But this is the live stream where we give news, commentary, newsmentary as I branded it. You're welcome, YouTube. Got you a whole new genre on this piece. And we are believers in one job, one living. You should be able to have a good living working one job. For maybe many of you youngins or you far-right libertards, neoclassical libertards, whatever you're called, whatever you want to class, whatever box you want to fully engulf yourself in so you can't see anything. A long time ago, when pot was illegal and life was slow, you could work one job and afford to live. That's right. Here in America, you used to be able to work a job and buy a house. What's up, Curtis? Meant to hop on the Discord yesterday. I didn't get to either. I will today. Sorry to hear that you collapsed when you got home from work. Nobody should be collapsing when they get home from work. Nobody. Everybody should enjoy one video game of their liking, a movie, and I just believe that people should be able to pursue their passions. I know, that makes me such a far-life radical wokist. Oh, poor people. Those poor people that think the woke mind virus has infected everybody, thinking that healthcare should be paid for by our taxes. Ew, gross. Welcome to the live stream. It is Thor's Day, the day where we worship the deity of lightning and thunder. And I'll tell you what, we're going to inspect something that not a lot of people, I don't hear many people saying, this is weird as hell. This thing that's happening in front of your eyes is weird as hell. We're going to address it. But first, I found that article about Bill Burr. Yoki B. What's up, Yoki B? I was just introducing everybody. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell. I go live every weekday. Live news commentary, newsmentary as I called it. Sid Bojadas. Hello from the Philippines. Oh, what's up? I work with the Filipino. We were just talking about the Philippines yesterday. I love Papa. Kopika Oim Takor. Hello. The red Zaku. I like the red Zaku. The blue Zaku. The purple Zaku. Very good too. What's up, baby K? Everybody hit subscribe, please. Let's get me to 1 million subs, and I can only do that with your help. Hit subscribe. I'm here bringing you hi from America. How are you? Carissa. From India, America, Philippines in the house. Love to see it. Everybody hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to talk about the weirdest thing happening in America right now that nobody is addressing. I mean, people are kind of addressing it, but not really. And they're normalizing it. And this is not normal, okay? This should not be normalized, okay? The most powerful seat in the world, the president of America, has a interviewee. He's doing all his interviews with Elon Musk. We're going to get into it. But first, yesterday we were in Sandersville, Georgia. What's up? You know where Woodstock is? I got family down there. Love that beard. Oh, well, thank you. I do absolutely nothing to maintain it. In fact, the plug in our bathroom broke, so I had to trim it with scissors. Imagine that. Times are tough. Men are trimming their beards with scissors. Well, I guess, wouldn't that be like even hardcore? Even more hardcore? What do you, shave with a razor? You baby, I do it with scissors. That's a real man. I might get an interview on Joe Rogan doing that. At the caliber interview levels he's doing. Well, welcome, people. I'm Rob. What's up, Layla? JKML. Oh, we got a troll in the chat. Trolls in the chat. Trolls everywhere. Is that a professional job? You get paid to do that? You get paid to give us your two nonsense? Negative 2 cents. This dude is adding negative currency to the chat. But everybody else except for JKML, welcome. This is the live stream with news commentary where we believe in not only healthcare paid for by our taxes, like every other civilized country in the world has figured out, but we also believe that one job should sustain a living. I put a community post if you want to see it, MIT, if you still believe in them. I can't wait to hear about the people saying, MIT, woke mind virus, fake news, idiots. But MIT established a living wage calculator, and if you're a single adult with 2 kids, you should be earning $70 an hour. And there are people that gawk and gasp and act offended at that. Why? Mostly because they would rather be making it, and they want people, just like George Carlin said, folks, the poor are there to keep the working class, the working poor, scared shitless. That's the only reason the poor exist in this country. So the wealthy people can look at the working class people and go, you don't want to be working poor, do you? That's it. It's all self-interest from these people that go, $70 an hour, get a skill. Well, here on this live stream, we believe that whether your skill is flipping burgers or flipping houses, you should have to work one job and survive. And more than survive, maybe even prosper a little. Maybe a couple of vacations. It's good for your mental health, in case you didn't know that. Look it up. Layla, I get paid to troll. I bet you do. It's just too bad. Whoever's paying you, man, when you want to talk about skilled labor, trolling should be a skill. You should get a skill for that. Go figure out some funnier stuff to say, JKML. If you're going to troll me, you better know me, bro. All right? Oh, welcome. So everybody hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to talk about it. But first, real quick, if you didn't hear Bill Burr's comments, he is a hero for the working man. And I didn't know his podcast. A long time ago when he started his podcast, you could write in and ask him questions and he'd give you advice, which I loved. I absolutely loved. It was one of my favorite things when I worked in radio for 20 years, helping people out, and because with the radio show, you had many different voices, so all these different perspectives. But Bill Burr's still doing it. He's keeping in touch with the working people. And his tirade where he said billionaires should be put down like rabid dogs, they're rabid greed. I didn't listen to the podcast, but again, article down below, UBI believe in it. When I ran for mayor, I was pushing for it. Andrew Yang, fuck that corporate puppet. He's just a mouthpiece for corporations. Bureau of Labor Statistics today showed only 1.4% of hourly workers earn the federal minimum wage, and nearly half are under 25. Mr. Cat, please show me your work. Because I don't know if nearly half are under 25. I think that'd be a misnomer. When I testified at the State House, we talked about that. And all these people that go, I hate the people that say minimum wage jobs are meant for teenagers in high school. Because I go, you ever been to Target during school hours? You ever been to Starbucks during school hours? You ever been to Walmart during school hours? They don't shut down. So I can source a bunch of stuff. Last week, I put minimum wage facts. I'm trying to think. If you go back 3 podcasts in the description, I do source my stuff. And I only know this because I've lived it. I testified. Some argue for a living wage. It universally could squeeze small businesses. Again, Mr. Cat, you need to cite some stuff, homie, because this is the propaganda. I've went against these lobbyists where they push that. They go, you want to put every small business out of it? But here's another thing that I can cite. We should be going down to a 4-day work week. And in London or in England, I don't know if it's specifically London. And again, resources in the description of all my live streams when I plan to talk about it. But you could go, this is easily Google stuff. Just look up debunked myths about minimum wage and their employment field. Most of them are adults. So whatever Mr. Cat's talking about, man, I hope you do some more reading because you're citing your sources from Jesse Waters on Fox News. I would not trust those. But there are educators and higher education places that do these researches, not like Pew or not these funded by billionaires, but people who are trying to get a gauge on things. And one of the things I fight for is a 3-day work week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday through Monday off. And 100 years ago, the Rockefellers and the the big capitalists thought by 2022, we'd only be working 15 hours a week, 3 days a week because of the technology, which we could because our productivity has skyrocketed. But here nor there, when you look at shortening a work week, which Henry Ford did this, I think Captain Kellogg himself, cornflake capitalism, I forget what his name, Tom Kellogg, but when they shortened, they stopped making workers work 7 days a week thanks to unions, and there was no reduction in pay, so they were getting paid the same, but they were working less. They saw accidents decline. They saw productivity incline. They saw profits incline. So this is easily put out there. Entry-level Bureau statistics. Minimum wage is primary for entry-level workers. That is not, that is 100% not true, Mr. Cat. What you're talking about is 100% not true. And you know how I know that? Because do you understand why the minimum wage was implemented? Do you know who passed this? Who pushed it through Congress? FDR, who I cited at the Massachusetts State House. Go look up FDR. I think it was between 1932 and 1939. I can't give you a specific date, but you can go and look up his own words on why and what the minimum wage was meant to be. And he specifically said the minimum wage was not meant to be a bare subsistence living, but the living of or the wages of a decent living. Those are FDR words. Who put that? I don't care what fucking article you're citing. I'm telling you what history is, Mr. Cat, and you're in here spewing misinformation. This is history. The reason the minimum wage was not was implemented was not so people could enter into the job field. That's not why FDR did it. He was bringing us out of the Great Depression with the Great New Deal, and he implemented a minimum wage so people, in fact, he said, if your business here in America needs to operate off of exploiting people, it should not exist in America. So I don't care about your study, Mr. Cat. Again, understand what you're describing to me, the minimum wage, and understand that you're telling me there's some study. What was it funded by? Okay? I would love to know what the National Bureau of Economic Research, who they're funded by. This is where people get so fucking consumed with stupidity that they don't realize what they're talking about. And that's the thing, Mr. Cat. Just go look it up. This is history. Why do you think they want to defund your education? So you don't learn that FDR implemented the minimum wage not to be a bare subsistence level of living. His words from the 30s, but the living of the wages of a decent living. His words. And he also said if your business can't pay people enough to have a decent living, it should not exist in America. Easily look up both stuff. I hate to say Google because Google is demented with their searches. I just got ranked up to Grandmaster Beater. Gee, money, get the out of here. A Russian dad comes home and tells us in the price of vodka has just increased. So, Mr. Cat, really, I implore you, man, because what you're citing to me is nonsense. It's not entry level. Again, these are the people that fund stuff, so you read it and repeat it and go, that's what it is. It's supposed to be for teenagers entering the job force. And that was 100% not the purpose of the minimum wage. The minimum wage was a purpose to allow people to work and live, work a single job, buy a home, just common sense, And FDR never intended to be permanent or a living wage. Mr. Cat, I can't do this because this is so stupid. This was so stupid. He meant it to not only be his fucking words meant for it to be a living wage. He said not a bare subsistence level. So Mr. Cat, but I guess a lot of people are getting history wrong, They're saying dictators and fascists were socialists. It's just par for the course. I feel very bad for you, but I'm sure, listen, what I do is I plant the seed. The seed has been planted. Now you're going to question it because every time you repeat that, the more and more educated people you run into, they're going to go, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's talking about FDR never meant to be a living wage. Oh, so he just said that and didn't mean it? He's just historically quoted in a speech that he gave that it's supposed to be the wages of a decent living, not a bare subsistence level. And he just was trolling people? Anyways, what we're going to talk about today is more important. Go read. If you're talking about 1938, dude, go read his speech. He says it. He says it. Oh my God, these people are they're so demented. And what are we arguing here over, Mr. Cat? This is the other thing. This is what I like to peel back the layers of. Mr. Cat, so you're arguing that certain people should not be able to afford to live. That's your argument. You say it should only be for people entering the job force. Well, what about all the companies that are not entry-level jobs that are paying that, which there are a ton? It's just this is the onion that you really got to expose people for. So Mr. Cat is the perfect analogy for what I want to get at, that people just won't say what they mean. I need people to be paid less than me so I feel better. I don't want people to earn a living wage, because nowhere in America is $7.25 a livable wage, and nowhere in America is the minimum wage, like here in Massachusetts where it's $15 an hour, is a living wage. And you can just see that from MIT, which I did I put in the community notes or my community post. Sorry if I got the language wrong. But anyways, so really let's get informed, and let's start to understand that people, when you encounter someone like Mr. Cat, who I think that's is that a chameleon? It's a cool avatar. When you encounter people like him, you got to be prepared to stand up for what's right. And what's right is historically accurate, but also what's right is that no one who works a full-time job should not be able to fucking rent, go on vacation, afford healthcare, have a car, all the decencies, all the technology, all the advancements that we've worked so hard as a collective in society. Nobody that works full-time should be denied any of those. They should not be paywalled behind them. And this entry-level bullshit is just fake, okay? That's not true. And again, if it's an entry-level job meant for these high schoolers like people love to claim, I always go, oh yeah, I forgot I can't go to Walmart from 7 to 3 because the high schoolers that run the place fucking aren't there. It's just on its face, it's stupid. But anyways, this is a podcast with news commentary, where we promote one job, one great living. And anybody that's against that, see yourself to the door if it's too much for you to handle, or you just hate that people might actually be able to afford to live. The other thing is the economy is 70% consumer purchasing power. So what that means is when you and I don't have money to spend, the economy comes to a slow grind. Yeah, post it all in the comments. The thing is you're trying to rewrite what FDR said about the minimum wage. Like, you literally are saying he didn't mean for it to be a decent living, a living wage. And I'm like, that's exactly what it was. You understand he was trying to push for a second and economic Bill of Rights? You should go read that. It's going to send you fucking insanely out the door. So again, Mr. Cat, here's the thing you don't understand. I don't care if it's 1.4%, which again, I don't think that's a proper number, or 0.4%. I think everyone that works a full-time job should be able to buy a house, should be able to afford vacations. I don't want anyone in this nation to suffer, all right? So, Mr. Cat, you're arguing with the wrong dude, because I'm on a level where I care for humanity. Like I said, I don't care if you're flipping burgers or flipping houses. Those people should all be able to enjoy life, access to healthcare, have a car, have a home, pay for heat, eat groceries that they can afford. So you're arguing, I don't know. Again, Mr. Cat, just get to your point. Like, just say, I hate poor people. Like, say, I want certain people to make so little they can't afford to live, because that's what you're saying with whatever you're trying to, distort history from. So anyways, the thing we have to talk about, because we got off on a wild tangent right there, because I hate when people misattribute what the minimum wage is supposed to be, or just flat out misquote FDR and his speech that not enough people know about. So get informed. But we got to thank Nia, Bill Burr's wife, and we got to thank Bill, because he is still staying in touch with people. People are writing into him, and it's single moms with kids who are writing in saying they're so stressed, they're so suffering. Go listen to his podcast. I put the link in the description so you can read the article and read the tweets, and if you don't know who his wife is. But it's just amazing that we got a Bill Burr out of a podcast filled with Joe Rogans and Theo Vaughns. All these people that are just gullible enough to believe that, well, Elon Musk is really rich, why would he want our money? Yeah, because, the people at the top are infamously known for being satisfied with good enough. But the thing we need to discuss, okay? Nobody's talking about that. It's so and weird. We have a president who is not doing interviews as a president, but as like second chair. That's a radio term. Like, we'll say, your third chair, like the first chair, the number one mic in radio is like the host, the leader of the driving force of the thing. The second chair usually chimes in, says a funny thing. Number two chair in a radio show is like somebody who comments or asks a question within an interview. But we have a president who's doing all these interviews, two so far, one with Hannity and then one that was like with the press. in the White House, and Elon Musk did most of the talking. I watched all of that one. I've only watched clips of the Hannity one, but I'm like, how come more people aren't saying, like, just imagine if you're glad Biden and Kamala are gone, imagine if Biden was doing interviews with George Soros standing there and Biden wasn't talking and Soros was like, this is why I'm going through Social Security and the IRS. This is why I'm gutting stuff. You would be crying right now. You'd be inconsolable, your sensitivity to anything that's left or woke, or, I mean, your name even has woke in it. That's how obsessed you are. We are living in your head rent-free. But it's just incredible that this is happening and being normalized. This is the second interview I've seen where two men, the president and some South African illegal immigrant, are doing interviews as the presidency. I don't know. What is it? Because you can't interview the president and just have some other guy talk the whole time. I think number one, because Donald Trump has no idea what's going on. I think he's 900 years old, and he's just trying not to crap his pants. If you haven't seen that interview with the guy who said he smells like he poops his pants, I'm surprised nobody's talking about it. It's hilarious. I think it was when he was in France. There's a picture of him sitting on a chair, and if you've ever had a child who's pooped their pants, Trump is making that face. But it's just hilarious that these people that claim they're so glad that, the woke is gone, the woke mind by Joe Biden's gone. Like, I just want you to imagine if this is where people, I got to ask you to take the box off, the conservative box off that you pretend to live in, and understand that if this was just some Democrat, imagine if this was Bernie Sanders, right? And Bernie Sanders had Bill Burr. I mean, that would be fucking awesome. But if Bernie Sanders had, I don't know, who's the right is terrified of George Soros for some reason. I don't get it. But imagine if Bernie Sanders was president and George Soros was standing there answering all the questions and telling people what he was doing. Because that's what's going on right now. This is what is going on. And somehow this is just okay with everybody. And I'm not talking about like the actions. I'm talking about the interview. That it's so weird to interview a president and have his little My Buddy. Does everybody remember that toy from the 80s? This is so effing weird to have a presidential interview and some random illegal immigrant from South Africa, which you'd figure the right would really be upset about that. Some illegal immigrant from Africa. But they're just like, yeah, this is awesome. This is the best. And I'm like, this is weird, guys. This not only is it weird, but it's also, I don't know, a little bit weak man, beta. What do you guys call it? Beta, beta, omega. I don't know. What's the term? What's the term they're using now to describe how Andrew Tate's being treated? Is it beta? I think it's beta. I don't know. It's all stupid to me. I'm pretty sure if you're using those terms, you're one of those people. You're the beta. Is it beta fish? Is that where they get it? I imagine it's beta fish because they can't be in a tank with any other men or they feel so threatened they got to fight. That's where the beta term comes from. So it's incredible to me that everybody's just allowing the media to normalize a presidential interview with some weird dude, some corporate capitalist billionaire. Everybody's scared of the Illuminati and the deep state. There's some billionaires sitting in all the presidential interviews, and the article I post or put down in the description, it shows a clip. There's an article from the New Republic, and it shows a clip of Elon Musk talking over Trump. It's just like in an interview, when we interview people at radio, if there were two people on the phone, say it was like Adam Sandler and David Spade, that didn't. I'm trying to think when we interviewed Jay and Silent Bob. But they have such chemistry that they know when to kind of chime in. And usually it was Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, who did most of the talking, and Jay Muse would pop in with a funny thing or two. That is not what's going on here. If anything, Elon Musk is dictating these interviews, I think because Trump doesn't know what he's doing. And when you're a known lie, when you're notorious in the lie zone, it's hard to corroborate stories. That's why police always separate people to get the stories separately. Why are you upset about cutting government's operating expenses? You're mishearing me, homie. Confirmation bias is too strong with these commenters. They're incurable. Gotta go. All right, Andrew. Peace. Yeah, it's a disease. It's funny that is it irony? that the people who say the woke mind virus is infiltrating America, they will literally, if Elon Musk said the sky is red, they would be like, I knew it. SpaceX dude told me the sky was red, and I knew it. Deep state, Illuminati. This billionaire really has my best interest at heart, even though his track record with workers is horrendous, especially if you're a person of color. Go look that up, how Elon Musk treated his people of color at work, the people that he worked with. You know, apartheid Clyde. Just looked at, like, if you work for a living, which I'm guessing most of you do, nothing wrong with it, but I'm saying, like, he ain't your friend. He ain't the one, homies. Bro, why are you coming after South Africa? Genema Squad. I'm not. I actually, I like South Africa. I think it's an amazing place. Scary as hell beaches and scary as hell waters. If you see seals, stay out of the water because there's something bigger hunting them. So I think South Africa is cool. I just wish you guys would take Elon back. Like, send us anybody else. Fuck Elon. Apartheid Clyde, not a friend. I think he is the worst thing for workers ever. And that's just going off of, you know, his history with people who worked for him. If you don't know much about that, I don't have time to get into it. Kiara, what's up? But I just think it's weird, and it's really becoming more and more normalized that people are like commenting on these interviews of Musk and Trump. People are hosting interviews with Musk and Trump. It's like, guys, you can just have the president on and say, Musk, wait your turn, and then interview Musk. I got a feeling in all my experiences with the police, the reason they're not doing separate interviews is because they need to corroborate their stories. They got to make sure they're getting the lie straight, folks. Like, this should be like setting alarm bells off. Again, not on their actions, okay? Not on anything they're talking about. I'm just saying the fact that they're both sitting there in interviews and chopping it up like, I don't know, this is a new buddy comedy that's coming out there promoting. It is weird as F. Let me take a second to say, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm Rob. I do news commentary. This is a live stream where we believe universal healthcare, free Luigi, and one job should be able to give you a good living here in America. Somehow we've turned into a third world nation where I hear people bragging about a third job. And I'm like, fuck it, your family must hate you. But then again, we're living in a world dictated by a billionaire who's having his 13th kid and has been there for none of them. He uses one of them as a human shield. The little kid you see he drags around and puts on his shoulders, when he started doing that after free Luigi, power to Luigi, let him out, alleged and proven, nothing proven until, you know, a court of law. We are innocent until proven guilty here. So free Luigi. I've seen a lot of people say he was with them that night, so, or that morning. I loved all those memes that come out. I think he left South Africa to escape the draft, or he saw the apartheid government was handing out. I don't know what ANC is, but well, from all I know is he left South Africa to go to college, never finished college, dropped out, which made him an illegal immigrant here in school because the visa he was on, he needed to be going to school. So he's been here illegally ever since. And I just, you know, just his track record with workers, I can't stand that dude. You know, that and his Nazi salutes and all that stuff, which that's what they were. There's no debate with that. You can do it all. Entertain yourselves to that, but there's no debate. This dude is not a good person. That's not true. You need to do your homework. Homework on what? I'm not following the thing. I got to get into this. So I just want people to start questioning it, right? I need you to take off that red box. I don't think America should be divided by red and blue states anymore. We should go by child poverty, how many kids go hungry in each state. That should divide up the region so we can see, so you could expose, like, how many kids, how are you treating your children? All right. That's what matters to me. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, you used to always hear adults say, we want a better world for our kids. You don't hear that anymore. You hear people saying entry-level jobs and bullshit like, oh, people should make the minimum wage. Like, just corporate propaganda being spewed everywhere. This ain't the live stream for you, okay? We're beyond that. I've settled that debate. It should be much more money for a minimum wage, and the minimum wage should be the wages of a decent living, not a bare subsistence level. So if you want to go on to Ben Shapiro's podcast week and have a, you know, a lively debate about how people shouldn't be paid enough money to live, then go ahead. But here in America, where you claim it's the best nation of the world, you should be able to live off one job, full week. You should have no issues buying groceries or keeping the heat on or trying to buy a house. Nothing. All right. What's up, Bandito? Good to see you. Last thing I'll say before I go on. The president, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the next 4 years. Yeah, but you know what? We shouldn't normalize the president and some unelected South African illegal immigrant doing all these interviews together. That should not be normalized, folks. Hit the like and subscribe button. I come here every weekday to bring you stuff like this and just give you food for thought. This is food for thought. You might learn something with the FDI or with the FDR talk, and if you go research here, I'm here to plant the seed, okay? That's all I'm supposed to do is plant the seed and have the discussion, start the conversation. But I'm just telling you, folks, the more I see this normalized, like, oh, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing an interview together. I'm like, if this was Biden and Soros, people would be pooping their pants. They would need adult-sized diapers because everybody would be pooping their pants. Like, this ain't normal. Just have an interview with just let the president tell us what's going on. The guy that got elected, just have him tell us. Why has it got to be him and this other random dude? Or if you want to interview both of them, just separate it. Give him 10 minutes, give him 10 minutes. Why? This is so weird. It's a very weird sign. Weak men, that's what it is. Can you not do your own interview? What are you scared of? Can you not, do you need, this is just like Trump needs a hype man, or Elon Musk needs a yes man, and that's what it feels like. It just feels like this is a tight-knit duo of yes men, just yesing each other to death. And as long as two people say it, it's like in the Bible, if two of you were there, Jesus is there. But this is not one of those instances. I think Jesus, is like, I'll pass on this one. Holding the Bible upside down and stuff. So I just want people to understand this is not normal. Biden was not sitting down to do presidential interviews with somebody else talking for him. And if he was, people would be up in arms, okay? They would be irate. And somehow this is normalized. This is not normal. We got two yes men, two known liars, two corporate billionaires themselves, yesing each other to death in interviews. This is not normal. There's a lot going on in the chat. I can't keep up. Maybe you're a little tough on them. Oh yeah, I'm very tough on the billionaires. You should hear people talk about the working class or minimum wage. Yeah, I'm going tough on the billionaires. I think they can endure it. But I just want people to think about it. Next time you see a president and some unelected weird dude sitting next to him, think that's not normal. That is not normal. Normally presidents don't do an interview with the buddy, with the yes man, with the confirmation bias next to him. They don't usually do that. This is not like, two guys going out for a buddy comedy to promote it, and somehow that's what it is. It's just weird. And you would say, the alpha, beta, omega, starlong, the horoscope people, the horoscope crowd, he's a beta, he's a this, would really look down on a guy needing a guy friend to be in an interview with him. And it's just so hilarious that they're all just like, yeah, this is awesome. This is so awesome. And just for those of you who think I might be like a Democrat, I'm not. I think we need to tear the whole system down. I just don't think a billionaire who has a horrible track record with the working class and not paying people enough, he could pay people so much money. He has $1 billion, and he's not a genius. He didn't invent Tesla, and he's trashed Twitter. He made it a racist landscape. So there's a lot of things I have an issue with. Oh, and the Nazi salute. But I just don't think he's the one that's going to look out for, us in the chat. He ain't your one. I hate to tell you. I know he matches your skin complexion, but he ain't your savior. Jesus was black. All right, guys, that's it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I love you all, even the people I disagree with, even the people, if you fall on hard times, I still want you to have free healthcare. Even the people that hate me, that say entry-level jobs are minimum wage, and I go, that's not true. It's meant to be a wages of a decent living. If somebody in your life is minimum wage worker, I think they should get a raise. And if you're a minimum wage worker, I believe you should get a raise. I think you should get free healthcare. I want my taxes to go to that. All right? I think we should have universal healthcare. Free Luigi. Hit subscribe. Hit the... You think... Lion. Oh my God, I can't even have this debate. He did. He 100%... And that's where we live, people. A guy does a Nazi salute at a presidential inauguration. People are like, no way, you think that happened? Yeah, his heart goes out to you. Fucking morons. I still think you should deserve a living wage and free healthcare. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm a leftist. Oh, okay, Lion. Sorry, I didn't mean lion. I get people seriously in the chat doing that. And I can't entertain it. But God bless you, lion. Oh, that's funny. That is a good joke. And the sad part is that's not even a joke anymore. Like, that's a real discussion that people who think they're serious people are having. So that's why I'm like, I would love to joke like that. Lion, please hit the subscribe button. You need to come back. That's my kind of comedy, Lion. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob. We do news commentary, newsmentary, and this is the live stream where we believe healthcare for all, free Luigi, one job, and a great living. Vacations couple times a year. You know, the CEO at my company makes $60,000 an hour. It takes the average employee 3 years to make what he makes in an hour. All right? So things need to change. It needs to be torn down from just everything. We need to rebuild from the ashes, folks. So I ain't your leftist. I ain't your rightist. I'm not a Democrat, a liberal, a libertarian, a conservative. I'm none of that. I'm saying this great American democracy experiment is over. Because if you think I would want my CEO who writes the policies for our company, who just said, if you don't buy something, you can't poop in our bathroom. If you think I would think he has my best interest at heart and him running the country would do the best for the guys that work for him, you're fucking crazy. You're crazy. And that's what's happening right now. The CEO of many corporations that gets contracts from the government is like, oh, we're going to redo it for the working class. And I just go look at the people that work for him. He's advertised hardcore mode for Twitter where you have to sleep at work. How many of you with the family would just love to sleep at work? Well, maybe if your family hates you, you'd like it. Oh, now we see why Elon does it, because he has 13 kids. He's there for none of them except for the little human shield he drags around to inappropriate meetings. But maybe that's why he's always at work and he's sleeping at the White House, because his family fucking hates him. And the latest, if you look at Ashley St. Clair, she had to reach out to Elon on Twitter to get in touch with him about the kid that she had with him or having with him. Twitter, that's a deadbeat dad right there. And I'll end with that. So much love, much respect. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's do this. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Salute to you. Fight for your communities. Later, Bandito.